This is Hovey Smith, the Backyard Sportsman, and today we're cooking some planked fish. A Georgia company has cut planks of various woods, and you take the planks and you put them in the grill, and you actually get them hot, and then you put your fish on it. Well, right now we've got pecan, cherry, and maple. We're going to see if it really makes any difference with this tilapia, which, as you know, is a pretty mild tasting fish.
I'm the author of Backyard Deer Hunting, Converting Deer to Dinner for Pennies per Pound, and also the forthcoming book Profit, that will tell you how to use your own creativity to make $1 million or maybe even $1 billion business. Now, part one concerning grilling planks from Beaver Lake. Now, these come in various woods, and I use 3 of them here in this episode. Now, the first thing you do with your grilling planks is actually to soak them underwater for about 2 hours before you even put them on the grill.
For grilling our planked fish, I've started our fire in here, and what we have is a mixture of charcoal and also pecan wood. Now, what I use for fire starter is usually unprinted paper and cardboard and my pecan twigs, and so that's what I use to get it started with. Well, we have a burning plank. Okay, that's a little too hot. Okay. Not much to be done about that one, I don't think. Okay. We're gonna cook on wood? I guess we're gonna cook on wood. Supposedly the fire is supposed to be at 400 degrees. Yeah, obviously my fire is more than 400 degrees. This is not going to take very long. Well, I dare say this one is done. Here so. Actually, the technique is not that you cook it with flaming wood, but in fact you cook it from the steam. So all this is just way too hot. Under normal conditions, you'd have it at 400 degrees. These would be just steaming up, and then you would close the hood and you would let the fish absorb the smoke. Well, actually, the way the Indians did it was probably more like this. They were the ones that, American Indians were the ones that developed this technique anyway. And actually the fish was nailed to the plank and then put next to the fire was the way it was done. In the olden days, back in the 1700s. Okay. Now if you treat these planks right, they're reusable. Obviously, these ain't gonna be. Okay, that one be done. We have a problem rescuing that one, we'll see. Okay. You've got a good bit of wind today, and that's keeping this fire hot. Okay, so this one is about ready. Yep. Come on. Wet. Flax burn nicely. All right, and there we have it. Some planked fish, but not in the necessarily recommended manner. Well, the product doesn't look like you last saw it because one of the dogs jumped at me and all of these things wound up on the floor. Burp. Okay, one of the pleasures of having hound dogs. Well, let's see what we did for taste. Tilapia is pretty mild, and this does definitely have a smoked taste to it now. And I do get a different taste depending on the wood. Yeah, I do. I couldn't tell you which is which, but yeah, the meat is certainly done, as you see. Stop here. Okay. Yeah. A little grit, but that doesn't have anything to do with the planking. Well, this is only the second thing I've ever cooked on that grill, so you will forgive me for having it too hot. But cooked as directed, yeah, I think these planks would do very well.
If at first you don't succeed, well, of course, you try again. And so I do, using my own pecan wood, as I have a bountiful supply, as you will soon see.
Well, if I have not told you, I have an ample supply of pecan wood. Yeah, the problem is that it's not of uniform size. So I'm going to try to split up some of it so we can get some blocks more or less the same volume, so I have uniform burning characteristics and I can control my fire better. So we're going to be about doing that for a while. That one round gave me a whole cart full of stuff, and plenty of stuff like bark and these small giblets here used for fire starter. This wood had been in this pile for a couple of years, and it's already starting to deteriorate pretty bad. So actually it was easy to split. The downside is yeah, this will burn up pretty fast. It's not as good as less rotted wood, but for cooking, yeah, that'll do just fine. Half rotted pecan wood is catching fire easily and quickly, and as it burns down a little bit from these twigs that I've got in there and really starts catching on the wood, I'll add a few more smaller pieces to get an even bed of coals. If I learned anything from previous experiences, it was to get your coals right and then do your cooking. And so I just added a couple of pieces of fresh wood. So we're going to let these burn down to coals before we get started. Well, I put the grate on, I've cleaned it to burn it out. Now the temptation is, yeah, could you cook on that right now? Well, yeah, you could, but the problem is you have very differential heat. Right there where the flames are, for example, obviously that would work off faster, and the cooler parts on the end would not. So that's one reason. Now one thing, incidentally, I did find out, that it's far easier to handle these grates with your fork Just lift them out like this, and that way your hand is not over the fire at any time. So the key to great handling is to actually get you a good stiff fork. Yeah. And that'll save the hands, I guarantee you. We're starting to see some actual smoke coming now that we have closed the lid, and we're going to close the damper a little bit when it gets up to 300 degrees. Okay, and then we'll see what happens. We are now at 300 degrees, about where we want it, so we're going to close the damper a little bit to about half. So we're letting half the air out, and that should increase the amount of smoke. Yeah. And we're also going to close the stack a little bit. Which should also increase the amount of smoke. Well, it's been 5 minutes, and now we're going to try to turn the fish. And its temperature has climbed up to about 350, 360 so degrees. So okay, and we did take the damper and we put it down to where it's only 50% open on the stack. So that's giving more smoke on the inside, and we'll see now. Yeah. These smaller pieces, they are completely done. Yeah. So 5 minutes was a little long at that temperature. All right, we know that now. Okay. So that's certainly done fish. There still is some differential cooking. You see, this is well blackened and shows the grill marks. It's fine. It's just a little more cooked than the other. And that was over the hottest part of the fire, but still nice blackening marks. So for these thin tilapia fillets, yeah, even 5 minutes is too much. Let's see about our garlic bread. The butter is all melted. Garlic a little, yeah, it's a little bit cooked. Bread is dark brown. Again, a little much. 3 minutes cooking would have been about right. Now this baked potato is a pretty big mass of material. Warm, but not hot, but I think that's good. Okay, so we have us a meal. Well, we now have our tilapia pecan grilled dinner. And here you are with the 3 tilapia fillets and more over here, the sweet potato that was mostly cooked the day before, a garlic bread. This is my enhanced pumpkin pie, which I do with coconut, nuts, and other things. And we have a little pesto. Okay? So, we shall see here how the fish did. It should have done very well indeed. Okay? Certainly more than done. It has taste. I did put some salt and pepper on it, that's all. I do get a little taste of smoke, but not as much as I did when it was actually sitting on the plank. So the planks are really adding flavor, even if you do cook just with, say I did, all pecan wood. Okay. Now the planks are particularly good if you have an electric stove like I do over here, and you want to get a sort of smoky taste in your meat, something a little different. Okay, you can control the temperature on your electric stove as well as you can with a gas grill. And for that, the planks would be very, very good indeed. Now they can be used like I used them, but you need to have all your planks of the same kind of wood because they have different heating and burning characteristics, I found. Yeah, you notice one was in full flame, one partial flame and one not so much. That depends on the character of the wood, okay? So if you're going to do plank fish, you would actually hope to have all your woods of the same sort. Okay? So fish certainly pass. A little smoke, but not quite so much as the other. I suppose I could have put some green wood in on the end, and that would increase the smoking. A little pesto, just for accent. That is good. And pesto calls for a little red wine. So all told, the fish cooking did well in the end. But now, this is Hovey Smith, reminding you to hunt what you eat and eat what you hunt. Be legal, be ethical, be safe, goodbye, God bless, and see you next time.
Among my prize-winning books are Extreme Muzzleloading, Backyard Deer Hunting, and Practical Bow Fishing. And all of these are available as softcover and ebooks. Now, my new book, Prophet, examines the premise that there is nothing in human experience that cannot be turned into profit by an inventive mind, and how you can participate in it. I have 2 videos that will be up shortly. One is up right now, and the other will be out the first week in January. For information on Beaver Lake's grilling planks, now you can go to their website listed below or call John Sell. For information on my books, blogs, and more than 375 videos, go to my website, www.hoveysmith.com. Good hunting and good eating from the outdoors. Goodbye, and God bless.